Yo, yo, yo. It's your boy, that decal dude. Just here with my first YouTube video. The reason I'm putting out this video is just thought I'd save you guys a bit of trouble. Maybe help you out with some pointers that I've learned. Brief history about myself. I got into the decal crafting biz a couple years back. Uh, just actually was looking for something very specific, couldn't find it. I have a history with making clothing and custom clothing and all that kind of stuff, and it's just decided to invest in these materials and products. So when I started, I got a silhouette portrait, which is just a little guy, but definitely did the trick. And got really familiar with the silhouette studio program. Ended up getting a Cameo, and I just got a Cameo 4 actually. Um, so a bit of an upgrade from the Cameo 3. I have messed with the Cricut Explore. I'm not the biggest fan of the Cricut software. I shouldn't even say not the biggest fan. I'm just a little too familiar with Silhouette Studio to really get into learning the Cricut software. So I thought I'd hit you guys with a little something. And feel free to like, feel free to subscribe. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. I do apologize for the mic quality. I don't have my condenser mic or mixer or anything set up at the moment. This was really just a spur of the moment video. So hopefully you guys like it. So I thought let's throw something out here. I thought I'd go through maybe some text, some fun things you could do with text and fonts. Um, Right now, I'm using the business edition of Silhouette Studio. If you don't know Silhouette Studio, the basic edition is free. So if you're interested, I highly recommend getting the Silhouette Studio, even if you just want to mess around. Um, but obviously, if you have a Silhouette product, you're gonna get Silhouette Studio. But I did do the upgrade a little while ago to the business edition because you just get a lot more features, a lot more fun things you could do. You can actually save your images as like JPEGs, PNGs, all that kind of fun stuff. So it's definitely worth the upgrade to Business Edition if you have the means. If you do not, don't even worry about it. Get yourself that basic edition, and you'll still be doing good things. So let's just have some fun with some text. So how well does that show up on video? You guys could see that. What I like to do with text, I guess I should walk you through it. This is actually obviously the A. This is where you write your text. Um, and then when you're done, you just press, you click out of it and there. Now I can move it around, whatever I want to do with it. I can make it bigger, smaller, whatever I want to do. Uh, this is my cutting mat surface for those new to Silhouette Studio or Silhouette in general. This is my cutting mat. It's a 12 by 12. So this would be the cutting surface that I'm working with. And what I like to do with my text is, well, actually anything, text or things that I may trace, I like to hit it with some color. That way it stands out. Boom. That way you can really see it. I'm not sure how well the red lines are going to show up. So let me get crazy. So over here, this little icon right here is your line. Well, there you go, line style. So you can actually change the color. You can change the color of the outline. You can make it invisible, but the red is basically the cut line. So I'm just gonna make it a little bit thicker, so it stands out a little bit more. Yeah, I like that. That should be popping on your screens right now. So that red line is the cut line. So that's what your machine is recognizing, and that's what your machine is gonna cut. So I'm not feeling that basic font. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna switch it up a little bit. And we're gonna get crazy. So we're gonna go over to our text tool right here, text style. I got all types of silly fonts. I got my favorites up here. This is one of my favorites. So let's work with this. I'm actually gonna put this all in capitals because I like that better. So we're gonna do that. I think that's a good size. And what I'm gonna do is you can right click and copy and paste, but save yourself a little bit of time and just learn Control C, Control V. Control C is copy, Control V is paste. So I select it, Control C it, Control V it, bang. And I'm gonna put that decal dude, so I'm gonna do it one more time. Just so I can switch all of these up. Double click it, highlight it. Oh, bang. Let's put this as dude. Boom. Now, another cool feature, okay, so I have my text. I mean, again, you guys know the basic select tool. You could select all of them, move them around. You know, you could select individuals, move them around. But what I like to do is make sure all of my shit, oof, pardon my French, all of my stuff is centered. So what I do is select all. And when you select all, this little tool up here, this little guy right here will center all of your stuff. All right, so let's do this. Bang, centered. From there, what I like to do is sometimes you can group it, which I'm gonna do, which is Control G. I mean, realistically, you can right click and go to group. But again, I'm not trying to right click and go to group when I can just hit Control G. Actually, Control Shift G is to ungroup it. But we're just gonna group it together so we have that. And then I'm gonna copy and paste it. Let's do some fun stuff with it. We're gonna make it big, and we're gonna ungroup it so I can mess with individual. Like, this is what we're gonna do. So sometimes I like to create a cutout effect on the letters, and how I do that in Silhouette Studio is this. I'm basically gonna give, what is this called? Offset. That's what I'm looking for. So I'm gonna hit this with an offset, but let me make it a little bit bigger, because I want this to overlap these two. So what we're gonna do is I'm actually gonna bring this a little bit closer. I'm gonna bring this a little bit closer. And as you can see, that and the dude are they're on top of decal. You don't want that when you're trying to do your, I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's just emboss it first. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna need this in front. So I am going to hit the offset, create an offset for it, and that's a perfect offset. I couldn't ask for anything better. So I'm not gonna do anything with that. If you needed to, over here, we're at 0.125, you can increase that, make it a little bit thicker, or you can decrease to make your offset a little bit, thinner. And we're good with that. So I'm gonna move, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna move this. I'm gonna make sure all of this is selected as one piece, and I'm gonna change the color of it. This is your color wheel, your palette. So we're gonna change it. Let's just make it this color. Okay. Now what I'm gonna do is I need to bring this forward. So there we go. Let me group that. So I'm gonna need to bring this forward. So this is what I'm gonna do with it. Boom. I'm gonna make sure they're centered. All right. I'm gonna drop this down a bit, because what I don't like is how it's peeking out there. I don't want that. So we're gonna spread this out just a little bit. It's not peeking out at all. Right there. I feel like this should be down just a little bit more. See, I'm looking at this space here, and I'm looking at this space here, and I think that looks pretty good. So this is what we're gonna do. Now, because this is on top, let's switch it around. I'm gonna reverse it. So now it's behind. Now what I'm gonna do is basically a subtract. So I want to cut this decal part completely out of these letters. But if I were to try to do the subtract while the decal is behind, again, the decal is what I want cut out. If I were to switch that and cut it like this, let's actually try that out. So I want to select all of them. So all of them are selected. This is your subtract tool. Well, I say subtract, but it's modify. What I'm using is subtract. And check this out. I'm going to hit subtract. See? So what that did was cut that and dude out of the decal. I want it to be the other way around. Now, if you make a mistake, don't even sweat it. All you got to do is hit Control Z or Z, however you want to say it. And bang, we're back in business. So I'm going to click on decal, and I need that in the front. So this is what I'm going to do. We're going to subtract that. What? Yep. My own fault. So because that and dude are not grouped together, it's not recognizing it as one image. So it's actually subtracting the decal and the dude away from the that. That sounds weird to say, the that. So what we got to do is we got to select that, and you want to hold shift. Shift, for those of you, I'm on a PC, obviously. But for those of you that are familiar with PCs and selecting multiple files, you'll know that control, and if you click multiple files, you can select them. If you hold shift, it's almost like a select from here to here. In Silhouette Studio, you want to hit shift as your control. So I want to press that. So let's do this again. I want to hit that. I want to hold control, or I want to hold shift, and I want to hit that dude. So now these two are selected. What I want to do is group them. Again, control G, but for visuals, I'll just right click and go to group. Now they're grouped together. So this is recognized as one image right now. So what I want to do is select all, right? Select all of these images. Again, your decal is in front, and I want to hit the subtract. Bangarang. Look at that. So now that's cut out, and this is what I want to do. I want to bring this to the you don't have to bring it to the front, but I'm doing it anyways. And I just want to squeeze them in there. Boom. Because again, you had your offset. And then what you can do is just select everything, control G, or right click group, and now it's all one image. Now it's all one image. This thing is ready to cut. I would throw this on a shirt right now. Boom. Easy peasy, just like that, right on a shirt. And that's, again, it's just some fun things you could do. So again, that is the subtract tool is what we use to cut them out, and we use the offset tool, which is right here, to set that background that we were able to cut out of that decal dude. Let's try a little something different. Let's try something else. Let's see what else we can do here. So we have that decal dude. This is a fun one. I sell this on my Etsy page. Feel free to check out that. If you click the link, the link is somewhere here. Again, this is my first YouTube video, so bear with me. But the link is there. But this one's on my Etsy page, and I really enjoy it. So it's an eat. Yeah, it's an eat. It's a sleep. And then we're going to give it... Hold on, let's... So again, when you're first typing, I'll always change it to black. So what I might do is select black right now, because I think when I type, yeah, now it comes into black. Okay, so we're going to switch up the font for this. Again, this is my font style, my text style. Obviously, this is one of my favorites because it's right up in the mix. So let's bring that here. We're going to mess with that a little bit, but I need to copy it because I need to type something else. Stream. Repeats. All right, so there we go. So this is what we're working with. I guess, you know what, I should make these separate letters as well. Eat. Sleep, stream, repeat. I feel like it actually should be sleep, eat, stream, repeat. You know what? Let's try it. I have it the other way on Etsy, but this might be the way to go. Sleep, eat, stream, repeat. I don't know. That sounds weird to me because I'm not used to it being that way. So no, we're going to keep it. We're going to keep it this way. But hey, hit me up on Etsy. If you guys want it, I'll customize it for you. That's no problem at all. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to do the same kind of effect as I did with this. But let's change this font to... Let's go with the actual... Oh, that's perfect. This is a perfect time for this to happen. Let me increase the line size. Okay, so we jacked up the line size a little bit. And let's zoom into it. So I think I mentioned it. If I didn't, my apologies. The red lines are your cut lines. This is what your machine is going to recognize, and this is what your machine is going to cut. So as you can see, some of these lines go into the black, which is no bueno, because when you cut that, as I said, these are going to be cut lines. You don't want those pieces missing out because this is part of your font. So what I want to do is I want to select my font only in this case, because once I do this, let's do it first. Only in this case where you're having these overlapping lines. You find it a lot with cursive fonts. Let's see if I can find a cursive font. So I show, just so you guys can get a little bit of a visual. Got all types of fonts over here. When it's your business, you have to have a good amount of fonts, because people have. Why can't I find one? I had one, but it wasn't good enough. Okay, let's do this. Okay, see, exactly, just like this. You find it a lot with these cursive fonts, where this would be a cut line. So when you're weeding it, whether it's a decal or a heat transfer, you have a little bit of give because it's a heat transfer, but even still, you don't want cuts through your design. It's not professional. So, like for example, with this, what I want to do is I want to hit this button right here. Now, this is the weld button. It's almost self-explanatory, but let's hit it and see what it does. Bang. As you can see, those lines disappeared, because what happened here is it basically welded everything together. It welded the font together. So now you have a clean font, flows together, and you're not going to have any cut lines in there. This is clean, this is ready to cut, this is ready to go. So let's delete that. So that's exactly what we're going to do with this font right here. We're just going to weld it. Boom. Look at that, perfect. And now you have your bright cut lines. You guys can see what I mean. They're not going to be cut out of anything. So let's zoom out. Okay, so again, I want to bring this forward, and we're going to bring this right here. I think that's a good amount. Actually, we'll do right here, because I don't want these. See, I guess I can cut those out. Yeah, I can cut those out. That's no problem. Okay, that's how we want it. So we're going to select all of these, and we're going to center them. Boom. Somehow that doesn't look centered to me, but we're going to roll with it, and then we're going to group it together. And yeah, sometimes they shift a little bit when you group them together. I'm not sure if you guys noticed that, but that's not a big deal. This is just for demonstration purposes only. Okay, so again, we want to create an offset. Boom, there's our offset. I don't like it, it's a little too thick, so we're going to slim it down a bit. Just like that. I like it. Now what I'm going to do is I just want to make sure all of this is selected as one. Let's color it in, because that's going to bother the hell out of me. There we go. No, we needed a different color. Let's go pink. And again, we're going to bring that over here. I'm going to center it. Oh, look at that. That's what happens when you do this over and over. It's already centered. No adjustments needed. And we are going to select them. And we're going to hit our subtract tool again. We're going to subtract them. Boom. Now you can see these little pieces here because this font isn't full. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to select all of these little pieces. And I'm going to get rid of them. Actually, that might stay. Yeah, that's going to. Yeah, that one's going to stay. All right, so we're going to select this and group it just so we can keep everything together. And then we're going to slide this in. That's it. That's all we need. We're going to group it. And boom. Eat, sleep, stream, repeat. So now that I'm looking at it, let's go back. Because, again, Control Z is your best friend. That's your undo tool. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to ungroup. We're going to ungroup the eat, sleep, repeat with Control Shift G. Actually, you know what? Let me right click it so you guys can see. Ungroup. Okay. And what we're going to do is I'm going to select these two, and I'm going to move them up a bit. Just so it's a little better as far as it's saying eat, sleep. Because I feel like it was cut off a little too much, and we'll drop that down just a bit. Just a bit. Alright, I feel like that's nice. So we're going to select these two. We're also going to select repeat. We're going to group them, right click, group it, and then we're going to subtract it again. But as I said, Control Z or Z, again, however you want to play it, it's your best friend. If you make a mistake, don't worry. Don't be afraid to experiment when it comes to Silhouette Studio. It's a great program. I absolutely love it. I have a great time doing it. I got into crafting and decal making literally just out of, again, boredom and necessity for myself. I couldn't find what I wanted, so I decided to make it myself. And you can do the same thing. So again, we're going to group it, and there you go. Look at that. We got ourselves a beautiful, ready to go, ready to cut design. And again, you can find this on my Etsy page. I'm definitely going to be throwing this one up there because the old one does not look like this. But upgrades are always happening. New decals are always happening. And Keep Six, check it out. But that's how you do that. That's a fun little thing I like to do when it comes to text and messing with text. I love typography. I think it's absolutely a beautiful art. And speaking of that, let's try something out. Let's get crazy here. Let's leave this for now. Let's open up a new window. As you can see, I have my untitled pages here. You can add as many as you want, work on different projects as many as you want. And yeah, just keep it moving. Just experiment with things. Try things out. So again, I'm a fan of typography. And let's throw this in here. Ooh, that's a big image. So this is one of my logos. And what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to show you the trace tool. So as you can see, the image was way bigger. You never want to resize the image until you trace it, because that's messing with the quality of the image itself. Once you trace it, you can shrink it, blow it up, however you want it. But for now, this is the original image size, so we're just going to keep it moving. And we're going to trace it at that size. So this right here is the trace tool. All right. So this is your trace tool. And there's little intricacies you could do with the trace tool. But for now, let's do the select. This is just basic, easy stuff. Select trace tool. And you're getting this in the basic version too. The business version, I haven't even gotten into the tweaks that you can do with that. So there, we're just going to select an area. And as you can see, it highlighted that area. So all I'm going to do is I'm just going to hit trace. If the image was a little messed up or wasn't as clean as I wanted it, you can adjust the threshold to get your perfect image. I'm not sure if you guys can see that, but it's filling out just a little bit. It's making it thicker and thicker. So let's just use that. And then we're going to hit trace. Boom. I'm going to delete my back image, and there we go. That's our traced image. And as you guys know, I like to fill it in. And from here, you can blow it up, you can shrink it down without losing any quality. So let's zoom back in so we can work with it at this size. And that's how you use the trace tool. And with this is ready to cut. This is ready to go. I'll make a decal out of that right now. Obviously not right now, but you know what I mean. Now, if this were for a t-shirt, you would want to reverse this image. Because it's text, because it's font, you always want to reverse it because that's how you're weeding it. You're weeding it backwards. So when you place it down, it's red in the right direction. So you want this as a reversed image, and that's easy. I'll show you guys quickly. So for that, all I do is it's selected. I go up to Object, Mirror, Flip horizontally, bang. That's ready to go on a shirt. That's ready for heat transfer vinyl. Ready to rock. Now I'll Control Z it just to go back. Boom. That's how you trace that. Let's trace some other stuff. Let's get crazy out here, because you can get pretty detailed with it. Let's try this out. You know what? Let's throw a couple images in here. As a gamer, I gotta throw that in there. And let's see here. let's see here. What else do we got? Oh, this is always a fun one. Yep, you can do faces too, folks. And let's get something detailed. It's not super detailed, but you know what I mean. As I said, I love typography, so let's mess with that too. So we're going to trace all of these images right now. Again, same process. You want to hit that trace tool, select trace area, select it, boom, trace. Let's do it again over here for the Super Nintendo controller. Trace. Let's go over to Fantastic. Now, when it comes to black images, I'll show you exactly what I mean. Because it's a black image, what it's going to cut, it's just going to show cut lines. I'll save that one for last. That's more of a visual one to let's trace. Just realized I didn't trace Mr. Borat. So let's trace Mr. Borat. Okay, as you can see right here, let's zoom in on Borat a little bit. As you can see right here in his eyes, like these lines, because they're not fully yellow, that means they're not going to cut. So we want to increase that threshold. We want to fill those lines out a little bit. Bangarang. That's what we want. Perfect. Beautiful. Now we're going to hit trace. Again, sometimes you just got to get detailed with it. All right, we're going to go over to Elsa. Let's trace Elsa. Looks good. Trace it. All right, let's get rid of our back image. Okay, and again, with the black, because it's all the others were white backgrounds, because this is a black background, look at what's going to happen. You're going to see this square is going to be part of the cut line, because what it's doing is it's recognizing the black and not the white, whereas the other ones, it's doing the same thing, the black and not the white. But the black in the other images is the main image. In this image, it's the background image. But check this out. See how it has that box, but you're still getting the exact same effect. It just happens to have a box around it. So what we're going to do is we're going to select all of these. Let's bring Mr. Borat in a little tighter. And we're gonna make them black, because you guys know how I like it. I have to put the color. If you work with just the red lines, hey, more power to you. It hurts my eyes. So we're gonna change them all black. That makes it much easier to deal with. But as you can see, it has the black background. So this gives you a couple of options. With this one, you can actually have the black background, your material, and weed out the letters. Or you can weed out the black background and have the letters. You have options when it comes to these the darker black background images and tracing. But as you can see, it's super easy, and these are quick to cut. You can have a really good time with these. You can put them wherever you want. Again, once they're traced, you can resize them, you can shrink them down, blow them up, whatever you want to do with it. And they all turned out nicely. Super Nintendo ready to rock. Let's see how good Borat turned out. He looks good that small. What does he look like big? Look at that. And that's a good cut. I can cut that 12 by 12 right now. No problem. Beautiful image. Love it, love it, love it. Now, a little word of advice. Again, something I just learned along the way. And I know this video is all over the place, but I'm trying to hit you guys with enough information. And just there's no script to this. I'm just going. So, again, if you guys need anything else, or if you have any other questions, don't hesitate to hit me up. But I'm just going off the fly here. But let's just say we're setting this up as a page. All right. So this is going to be a cut page. I'm going to make these all vinyl decals. Let's shrink down Elsa. Put her right there. Yeah, we're going to make this some vinyl decals. I'm going to shrink this down because I need more space. All right, let's get Borat in there nice and big. Boom. This is what we like to call a gang sheet, because it's a gang of images all on one sheet, and this is ready to rock. Like, realistically, if I wanted to send this to my cutter right now, I easily could. But this is what I like to do. I like to put a nice box around all of my images. So I'll throw a box around that. I'll throw a box around this. This already has a box around it. Throw a box around the homeboy Borat. And I'll throw a box around Elsa too, even though she's a circle. And this is why. Because when I cut this, if I didn't put these boxes around, when I'm weeding my extra material from here, I would have to pull material individually, weed these, go easy, then pull, weed this, then pull. Especially when you get down to stuff like Borat, you don't want that. So by separating every single image, when you pull the main extra vinyl, extra material, you're pulling it back and you're left with these squares. That gives you the opportunity to weed this one out on its own. Then you can move on to this one on its own, this one, and so on and so on. And it's not really going to be too difficult to do something like that. So again, just a little tidbit. Let's see if there's anything else I can show you guys before I cut this video. I think that's it right now. As I said, if you guys ever have any questions, any recommendations, any criticism, just hit me with it. If you like the video, hit me with a like. It would mean a lot if you could subscribe, keep up to date with the future videos. But again, I just wanted to hit you guys with a little bit of knowledge that I got along the way, and hopefully it helps you guys in your journey. If you're considering crafting, it's fairly inexpensive to get going. I mean, if you have the means, it's a great hobby that can easily be turned into a good business. But it's fun, and most important part is just enjoy it. Just experiment, just craft, mess around with different things. I'm self-taught, and just by messing around, these are things that I've learned, and I just thought I'd show you guys and hope it helps. But if you have any questions about the process of the cutting, about the process of applying transfer tape, hit me. I'm that decal dude. I appreciate you guys for watching. I'm sorry if this video was too long. Hopefully it wasn't too boring, but I appreciate each and every one of you, and keep an eye out for future videos. I'm that decal dude. Check you guys next time.